How's it going, people? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another box to box, and it's another big one, people. We've just dispatched of Tottenham last weekend and we've got Liverpool this weekend, an even bigger fixture, but it's somewhat a different feeling going into this one. I've brought my big six brother with me. Grizz, what are you telling me, Grizz?
Don't know what to tell you, bro. It depends what you're going to ask me.
Is it a different feeling?
Yeah, it is, no doubt about it.
It's been a few years since this sort of we've gone into this game on form and you've gone into it off form.
Yeah, you've got me nervous, Turkish. I'm not gonna lie, man. You know what I mean? It's a tricky one still, but I think it's a test for both. You know, I think this is a huge test for both of us because you lot. Every week we're saying this is another test for Arsenal. This is another test for Arsenal, and you're overcoming most tests. I know you flopped a little bit against Man United, but I won't test you too much on that. But
it is what it is.
It is what it is. You know what I mean? as Saeed would say. But this one, I'm not feeling as confident as I have done in the past. I'm not gonna lie. But the only thing I'm clinging on to is a big game, and we've played more big games than you guys in recent times, of course, obviously. So I'm just hoping that it's hope more than expectation. I'm not gonna lie to you, but it should be. I'm hoping that we rise to the challenge because for sure this is a massive challenge for us.
Yeah, I mean, you look at our side and there's a lot of young players there, so you're right. You look at Liverpool's side and you've got a lot of players that have reached a top level in football, played the Champions League finals and so on. Whereas with Arsenal, it's a young team still growing and still finding their way back to hopefully challenging. But looking at Liverpool, let's start with Liverpool. What do you think's gone wrong so far this season? Is it a case of this summer transfer window being the catalyst behind it, or do you think it's the last couple transfer windows?
Last couple, bro. Last couple. I've said it so many times on my channel as well that I can see the succession planning at the back with Tsimikas, younger than Robbo, with Konate, Gomez, younger than Matip and Virgil, with Ramsey signing. Obviously, Trent's still young, so I can see all the succession planning. Even Kelleher, goalkeeper, I can see out front whether people rate Jota like that or Nunes like that, and even Diaz, because most people rate Diaz. You can see the three younger players, Mane going, Bobby nearly going, finishing now. It's the midfield, innit? We ain't invested in midfield. We've bought one midfielder, Thiago Alcantara, in 4 seasons, bro. Come on. And the way we play, the high energy, Gegen pressing, we can't expect the same brothers, Milner, Henderson, Fabinho to keep going. And I'm afraid it looks like they've hit a wall now. Like, it's not been pretty viewing, I'm not gonna lie. You probably haven't watched every Liverpool game. I'm telling you, it's not been pretty viewing, and there's no excuses for it. The board, Jurgen Klopp, should have seen this coming. So, you know what I mean? I don't want violence. Don't bring the violins out. I'm being real. Yeah. Don't bring dash the violins, man. I'm just. It's messy, but we're still not done out here. We're just struggling.
I've seen comments from various Liverpool fans, obviously online as well, and you take it with a pinch of salt. But I want to ask you, in terms of that midfield position and the lack of strengthening, does that fall on the board or does that fall on Klopp? And I'm hearing a lot of Klopp is stubborn. I'm hearing a lot of similarities to how Wenger's reign ended here at Arsenal, with him being stubborn, digging his heels in and it not working out over and over again. Do you feel like it's on Klopp this time, or do you still look at the board and say, listen, we've got a world-class manager here, he's won us Champions League, he's won us the Premier League, and you man ain't sorting him out?
It's a mixture of both, bro. As much as we love Klopp, and I love Klopp, I'm not even doubting him one single bit. But when it's time to criticise, you're allowed to criticise.
Yeah.
And I said it when we first recruited Klopp. I said it. He's got elements of Wenger in him, and everyone was like, "What do you mean? How?" Now they're seeing what I meant back then. This guy, just like Wenger, used to maybe not internally agree with the owner's way of moving forward. He used to always back them publicly. And this guy's doing the same, bro. Even if he's more powerful than we think. He's more powerful than he's letting off. He can have an influence. He's the greatest manager this club has had since my lifetime. And so therefore, I know how much the owners rely on him because they know they're shit without him. Yeah. They're dead without him. So he's got more power than he thinks. There is sections of the fan base that obviously always just look at the owners, FSG, but they go hand in hand, bro. He's a backer of them. And if he agrees with them, which I haven't got a problem with, but then it needs to be fixed on the pitch. So if you're not fixing on the pitch and you're backing them, then you're going to get criticised just like they get criticised. And that's when it gets messy, like it did with Wenger.
Yeah. So looking at this season, it hasn't started well. You're still firmly behind Jurgen Klopp. Is this season thrown away, in your opinion, already? In terms of Liverpool are so used to challenging for league titles, they're so used to going toe-to-toe with Manchester City. You're quite some way off Man City at the moment. I think it's 10 points behind you, 11 points behind us. You play Manchester City next week. You've got a game in hand against Chelsea. You play Arsenal on Sunday. Do you feel like this season's pretty much dead in the water in terms of what you're used to over the years? Or do you think Sunday and a win could be the catalyst to get back into the run of things, maybe you play Man City next week and pick up a win, and then you're firmly back in the conversation?
I was going to say, ask me next week. I mean, obviously it won't be for AFTV because we could be playing Man City, but we need to speak after next Man City game, because it's ifs, innit? At the moment, I can't see us winning both games, but you can't write us off for both games as well. That's where we're at right now. If we pick up 2 wins against you guys and City next week, suddenly we're 6 points behind with a game in hand. It's nothing.
Yeah.
Season's back on track. Players come back from injury. We're good to go. But as you said, you turn us over this weekend and then they do what they got to do to us. Bruv, there's no denying season could be dead in terms of the league. And that's going to be massively disappointing, because this is the first season like I really believed we're favourites. Like normally I always say Man City are favourites, and rightly so. But let's be real. But this season I really thought that we're going to be strong this season, especially coming off motivated after last season. But I think it's had an adverse effect. Bro, playing every single game in every competition, knowing that even a draw is like a loss, it takes it out of you. And then when your manager and owners don't refresh your teammates and your compatriots, it can tire you out. We look tired right now, and you're the wrong team to play, I think, for a tired team, because you got high energy right now, youngsters. All that process that I've been telling you, bruv, Arteta's coming through, man. I hate to say it because might affect my team, but you know what I mean? He's doing his thing, bro.
Before we move on to Arsenal, we're going to move on to them in a sec. I just want to ask you, and it might be a cheeky question, but I do want to ask. I like cheeky questions. Is Jurgen Klopp's job safe this season, regardless of how it ends? 4th, 3rd, 5th, 6th, 7th. Is his job safe and secure, considering what he's done?
Yeah, it pretty much is.
And but when
you went below 5th, then there has to be a question. Because if we continue like this and we end up 6th, 7th, then there has to be a question. And I think even the most ardent Klopp fans will have to, because for that to, and that's without if no crazy injuries and everyone's fine, but we're still not firing, because then there will be bare scrutiny on us. Why the drop-off? Why the tactics? Why no investment? And then Jurgen Klopp will be questioned. But A, God forbid, that ain't happening, and B, pretty much owners will see it even more favourably than me, because they know he's their golden nugget. So, yeah, man, Jurgen Klopp, look, of course he's bought himself time. There's no doubt about it. I don't even want to put that out in the air before people say, oh, Grizz said, you know what I mean, he might be under scrutiny, just paraphrase me. I'm just saying if, but none of those ifs will happen.
And on Arteta, you mentioned the process. Listen, over the years, we've spoke quite often, twice a week on the Big Six, every single week for coming up to 2 years. Arteta's been under pressure for the majority of that time, to say the least. But this calendar year, he seemed to have turned it around slowly but surely. It started in January, where it was a poor transfer window. We came out of it weaker than we went into it. We started having a good run in the league, coming up to the last 5-6 games where essentially we threw it away. But he got a new contract. He's had another positive transfer window, in my opinion. Proactive, Jesus, Zinchenko, Fabio Vieira we're seeing a bit of now, as well as others, Marquinhos, for example. What's your feelings around Mikel Arteta and this process Arsenal are in? You've been very much, I wouldn't say a fan of it, but you've been behind, let's say, what Mikel's been doing over here, even through that tough time for him. Do you think that's paying off now? Do you see us finally putting those rotten days behind us and actually moving forward now?
Oh, without a doubt, bro. Without a doubt. He had a massive job. I keep telling you as well, and Arsenal fans, we used to always talk about it. We still do talk about it, and we still refer back to it. But we know about the culture that was at Arsenal. It was stinky culture, man, and he had to get rid of that. So many players wasting their time, and the club's time.
Yeah.
And he had to get rid of that culture. And fair play to him, bro. Fair play to him. He got rid of all of them. And then he even brought back the ones that proved him wrong, like Saliba. He probably, I don't know if he was on your agenda, you want to speak about him, but for example, that's one of the best examples.
Keep your eyes off that man, yeah?
That's what I'm saying, you know what I mean? New Virgil finishing, okay, come on. But he's done exactly what a lot of fans wanted to do internally, but they didn't think he was the man to do it.
100%,
You understand?
yeah.
So people wanted the moves that he's doing, but they think, yeah, but he's not the man to take us to the next level. Bro, I think he's shut up a lot of people. I think he's quietened a lot of noise. And now he's turned that negative noise into positive noise. And I was telling you, the atmosphere here, you know what I mean, is banging.
So far this season, I'd say best in the league so
far. You know, as I said, people know my son's an Arsenal fan. He tells me, he goes, the atmosphere is totally different. And that's down to him and his vibrancy and the way he's got the squad together. And your purchases, bro, the ones that you've talked about, we know, man. Everyone knew Gabriel Jesus is going to be, you know, I said it nice and early. He's going to be the new Ian Wright, man. I'm telling you. I know big praise. I know, okay, people might say, calm down, Grizz. New Ian Wright, are you serious? But I don't know. Talk to me in a couple of years because this guy's on fire right now and he's got that fire in his belly, the attributes, the energy, just like Wrighty had, man. And even Zinchenko and all these other guys, Odegaard, making him captain. I think that was a genius move, personally. I didn't see that coming. I didn't see this captaincy standard or leadership qualities in Odegaard that he's showing now. So at the moment, everything he's doing or touching seems to be paying off. But 10 games into the season, I know what you're going to say. And it's true. What you say is fact. It is 10 games into the season. But if you look at the calendar year, he's doing bits.
Yeah. And someone who went through a process of their own with Liverpool and Klopp coming in and having to, you know, pretty much start from the bottom of the big six and get to the top where you're winning leagues and Champions League. There's a lot of talk about Arsenal, maybe a league challenge coming. Not from me. I think it's way too early to say that. Like you said, it's 9-10 games into the season. Talk to me in January, February. I want to be comfortably in top 4. But from what you've seen with Arsenal and what you've seen of your own club in the past and the process and how it's worked out, do you think Arsenal are far off a title challenge? If not this season, maybe next?
So this season's wild. It's so hard to make a prediction this season what's going to happen. What we do know is City's going to win the title this season. Anything after that, bro, I'm not lying to you, it's wild to predict. We know it is. It's very hard because week on week, sometimes we think, okay, Chelsea's going to kick on now with Potter. You know, we see Spurs, Conte and Man United even. But Arsenal, for me personally, look the most settled. After us and, well, we don't look settled now, but you know what I mean. After us and City, you guys look the most settled right now. You guys look the most squad with the most energy, vibrancy, the fans all together, belief, all of that. There's splits in the Spurs camp about the Conte style. Chelsea, we know the situation. Man United still not sorted. You guys, best of the rest, bro. I'm not going to lie to you. I think you're very, very settled. And it's only positive. Look, if you don't finish in the top 4, it will be a disaster. But that shows you the levels you've reached now to think like that.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So I think it's positive, man. I think title challenge this season, I wouldn't rule it out because it's a wild season with a World Cup and everything.
Too early to say.
Too early to say. But next season, you push on. And if we keep regressing like we are, you know what I mean? Who's to say you don't become Man City's, you know what I mean, challengers? But you got to see this season out.
Yeah, let's not forget Chelsea. I think this time last season, they were top of the league and then you saw how it ended over there for them, quite far off. On to the game this Sunday, 4:30 kickoff here at the Emirates Stadium. Key battles. Let's just bring out a couple key battles. I'm going to start. I'm looking at the right-hand Liverpool side, our left-hand side. I'm looking at Martinelli, who's been on form this season, and Jesus, who likes to float into that position and partner up with Martinelli and you know, be quick in transition and float about, rotate. That could cause problems for a Trent who has scored a few good goals this season, as usual, come to expect it from him, but has also been exposed at times. Do you worry about that position, not only because of maybe Liverpool's weakness in that area defensively, but Arsenal's strengths in that area?
For sure it's your strength. For sure. Martinelli, we know Martinelli is a baller, man, and we know because Jurgen Klopp, again, by the way, referenced him again today. He goes, Martinelli.
He likes talking about him, innit?
He loves Martinelli. He loves Martinelli. But And you can see why he's such a Klopp
how
type
can
player.
you not,
I'm
yeah.
sorry, people, but he is. He's a Klopp type player. He's dynamic, he's quick, inverted winger. Yeah, man. Gabriel Jesus loves drifting out there. Gabriel Jesus has got a wicked record against us as well.
Yeah, he
for
does.
Man
Yeah,
City.
he does.
Yeah, man. You know what I mean? He loves playing against us. We're going to have to be on him, bro. It's no joke.
And Robertson's injured, right?
Robertson's
So
injured.
Even Saka Tsimikas is an interesting one.
Of course it is, bro. Of course it is. Look, I don't know. There's dilemmas in terms of our selection on that side. Are we going to play Konate, who's quicker, or are we going to play Matip, who reads the game more?
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? I personally would love Konate there because Konate physically is quicker, faster. He might be more. He might be able to help Trent out more. And then obviously we have to sort out the midfield. Who protects him? Is it going to be Henderson put out there to play that 8 right again? There's a few selection dilemmas for us as well in terms of how we handle that, but for sure that's the threat for you lot.
That's interesting because I'd probably say Konate because I like you said, Matip reads the game a lot better, and we haven't got the biggest pace in behind. And I think a defender that reads the game, but then you have Van Dijk who also reads the game quite well too, and he also does everything quite well. Yes, he's been poorer this season in comparison to previous seasons, but yeah, listen, Konate is a top defender as well, so that'll definitely be a challenge. On the other side, for you lot to come here and get the 3 points, where's the key battle? Who needs to be on top form? Salah so far this season, he hasn't been the Salah we've come to know in the Premier League. Diaz burst onto the scene in January. He's actually done quite well this season. He's been productive, but maybe not the Diaz we saw in the latter stages of last season. Then you have Jota, who loves playing against Arsenal. You have Firmino, who loves playing against Arsenal, and new boy Nunes. So what's the key battle for you to take away 3 points from the Emirates?
Salah versus Zinchenko used to be tasty for us against City. If he's going to be your left back, that's the one to keep an eye on.
Let me just on that. Sorry to cut you. Would you prefer Zinchenko there, being a Liverpool fan, or would you prefer Kieran Tierney? Because I'd prefer Tierney to start because
I'm a massive
defensively,
Tierney fan, you know.
Yeah.
I'm a massive Tierney fan, but the game intelligence of Zinchenko is different from Tierney.
Definitely.
So it's a tricky one. It's like us and Matip and Konate syndrome.
Yeah.
I don't know how you want to go about it. Like Tierney's more physical and quicker, whereas Zinchenko's ball playing ability, bringing the ball out, technical ability. You know what I mean? I don't know how you lot are going to go, but for us, it's all about if we're going to pick the front 3 or the front 4. I have a sneaky feeling we might go to a 4, and that's going to be intriguing. And I think if we go for a 4, it's not going to be the 4 that we play in midweek. I think Bobby, as you said, Bobby's got this knack of doing well against you lot, and he loves an away game as well. So I have a feeling Bobby might come in, especially the way Partey's controlling that midfield. I think Bobby's going to come and try to disrupt Partey.
Yeah.
Getting on the ball so easy, and Bobby's one of the best at that.
Yeah.
He's underrated side of his game. And then if Bobby can do that, then it's all about our front 3 and your much heralded defence if they can hold out. Because you boys, let's say how it is. You boys defensively look the part now. You look solid. Ben White doing a wicked job at the right. Diaz will cause him problems though. And Gabriel, look, I like Gabriel, but even you'd say sometimes he can be a bit rash. And that's what we're going to play on. We're going to look to get a mistake out of used to because they like to play football.
Yeah.
And I say we're one of the best pressers, but we haven't been doing that. But I hope to see that energy back. And if we try to press you guys and you still continue to try to play like you guys do, there could be some issues there. That's the way I look at it. Midfield is going to be a battle as well. We know that. I spoke to you on the way walking up. I was thinking we need to control your midfield because your control has way too much time. And you know what I mean? If Thiago, I was reading there's slight doubts of Thiago. Hopefully it's just slight, it's minor. But if without Thiago, it could be a long afternoon for us.
Yeah, top player. Final question before we do predictions. Who's the better manager? Arteta? No, I'm joking. Leave that one out. Too early. All right, let's do predictions, Grizz. As the home team, I'll go first. Feels very different playing Liverpool this weekend. I won't say quietly confident, but I guess saying it is not being too quiet. I want to move in silence, but I'm saying I'm moving in silence, so I'm not really silent. But it is what it is. I have to do content, so here I am. I'm going to bring back the 3-1s, Grizz. I'm going to bring back the 3-1s and say...
you brought it back for me as well.
The first goal is really important. I think if Liverpool get it, it's going to be a tough day for us. If we get it, then I'm confident in my 3-1 prediction. So I'm going to go with 3-1.
We have to stop this, how you guys are going to come at us. Like, you know how we come at you at Anfield? you're going to come at us like this and we have to stop you from scoring in 20 minutes. If you score in that first 20 minutes, I'm sorry, it's going to be, I'm sorry to the Liverpool fans, it's going to be hard for us. Because you got that momentum, the crowd, the energy, everything. And we're going to start having doubts again like we've been having this season. But you're right, if we score the first goal, I think first goal is vital. I'm going to go, come on, man, I'm going to go 2-1 Liverpool, man. Big it out, man. Come on, man. I ain't letting you do this to me, man. 2-1 Liverpool.
Say no more. Grizz has gone 2-1 Liverpool. I've gone 3-1 Arsenal. Grizz, tell them where they can find you.
Yeah, check us out on the Big Six, of course, every time, first and foremost. And then go and check out my YouTube channel, man, Grizz Khan TV, for more waffle.
More waffle. Make sure you show some love, people. I'm going to tag Grizz's channel in the title. I'm going to put it in the description as well as the Big Six. If you don't know, get to know. All of that's in the description below. Make sure you show some love to my brother Grizz. And yeah, tune in Sunday and we'll see if we can get the job done against Liverpool here at the Emirates. 4:30 kickoff. Love for the love as always, people. We are out. Peace.